A lot of Nigerians might not know the effect of the coup plot in Niger. The distance between Nigeria, if I'm correct, is about 1,000 kilometers. And in between this is a vast desert. And this desert, according to the agreement between Nigeria, Chad, Niger, and neighboring countries around that location, according to their agreement, for security purposes, to ward off terrorism, banditry, they decided to come up with this joint task force. And this joint task force is to make sure that each of these countries bring out their military to go around to monitor that vast space. But with what is happening right now, Niger and the coup plotters, particularly, are more occupied with maintaining their plots, maintaining the coup, making sure that they remain stable in power. Obviously, European Union, particularly France, and some other ignorant African countries are coming together, hoping that they will crush this military coup that just happened, throwing away the civilian government. There are a lot of things that people might not be aware of, but if you are from Africa, you will know this is the practice. There is something called uranium, abundant in Niger, and this uranium is used to power plants, to provide electricity in France, and not just France alone, other countries. But let us focus on France, which we all know is the major neo-colonial master of Niger. This uranium is also used to create weapons of mass destruction, weapons that can be used to destroy Niger if France chooses to, like how they went to Libya and they did what they did. Now, according to Russia, the uranium is bought at a very expensive price. I mean, it is sold at a very expensive price. Once they mine it off from Niger, they take it to wherever they want to take it to, sell to other neighboring European countries or whoever is interested in purchasing it. They sell, for example, 230 euros, maybe per gram. And they pay Niger government or whoever it is about 5 euro or 11 euro. Of course, there will be kickbacks, there will be bribes paid to the president, the vice president, and some other, politicians in that country. Just imagine a country that could provide such important resources. Imagine, you need to go to Niger. They are living in penury. For those who are Nigerians, just imagine the north of Nigeria. Go to the outskirts of the north of Nigeria, to some certain parts of the north of Nigeria. You see the kind of life they live. They have this kind of huts in a desert kind of, environment. Nothing is happening, no potable water. Life is as a cake as you can ever imagine. And we are talking of a nation that should be swimming. I mean, life is supposed to be perfect in Niger. This is what prompted the people, prompted those who are supporters of this coup, and of course the coup plotters, to say, look, enough is enough. We have to put an end to this terrible association of our politician with the West. Now, the problem is this. Will the military be accountable themselves, or they also want to trade with Russia and scrape whatever it is that they can scrape off? Like how the military took over also in Nigeria. It's the same pattern. The military comes in saying the democratic elected government is corrupt. And when they come in, they begin to steal money like Abacha and pull money here and there. Some say Abacha did not steal. They were simply hiding money in those countries because of the fear of the United States. And because he heard that the United States was coming to Nigeria to do what they do, break, destroy Nigeria. And he wanted to have the money held as if those money are kept there, or those money were kept under false pretense, as if those money were kept, it will not be freezed. Is that not how they operate? Now, how does this concern the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu? The military junta in Niger Republic has cut off ties with Nigeria after the efforts of the Economic Community of West African States to break them down, to crush them, to attack them using military might. ECOWAS had issued a 7-day ultimatum for the reinstatement of President Mohamed Bazoum to avoid possible clash with the junta. But President Bola Ahmed Tinubu sent a high-powered delegation to the country to meet up with the coup leaders on Thursday. The delegation, led by General Salam Abubakar, only met with representatives of the junta. Of course, obviously, the head of the juntas will not want to meet. They want to protect themselves also. After the meeting, Niger severed ties with Nigeria, Togo, France, its colonizer, and the United States. They say they do not want to have anything to do with these countries. And what does that mean? It means that the military that would have paraded that particular land space to make sure that terrorism is caught, at least maintained, to protect, to secure, will no longer be functional. It is going to be a field day, like so free for terrorism. So Nigerians, be ready for massive influx of terrorists. Do not be so comfortable in your house anymore. No, no, no. Nigeria should have found a way to dialogue differently. They should have stood their ground rather than being friends of criminal Western countries who have kept, and of course, this would not have been made possible without the support, without the greed, wickedness, evil of the politicians. Let us call them, the Nigerians. They are very weak. African leaders are so selfish. They are so wicked. This is the reason why Western countries penetrate into Africa, neo-colonizing them, doing all sort of nefarious activity. Why? Because they know that majority of these African rulers, we cannot call them leaders, are very wicked. They are very wicked. So all they do is to promise them kickbacks and also promise them. They just whet that appetite, that selfish appetite of theirs. And that's all. That's all. I don't know what your own thoughts are as regards this, because you might think it does not concern you. Is it not in Niger? What is it? What's going to happen to us? Nothing is going to happen. No, a lot is going to happen. And do not forget that there are other African countries who have stood together with Niger, such as Mali, Burkina Faso. They say they are standing with Niger. Should any African country, should France or whoever try, and I believe that France will want to stand behind, they want to push Nigeria and some other countries to fight. Of course, Ghana might want to also be part of it, because the Ghanaian government, also the president, is also afraid of coup in his country, as far back as he's also afraid. And many of them are afraid. They are all afraid. Now, the video you watched, you saw what happened there. That is Bola Ahmed Tinubu being ridiculed. Why? Because of the stand of ECOWAS and whatever it is that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is saying. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has spoken differently, saying we need to be transparent. We are not in support of coup. We want democratically elected government that is of integrity. If he has spoken in a way to kind of pamper and assuage them, they would have read clarity. But saying we are going to use military might, you see Bola Tinubu being called Ebola Bola Tinubu, that is the level of anger that is inside of them. That's the truth. For whoever it is that is thinking that this coup just happened like that, no, these people are tired. You need to go to this country. They are like desert. Nothing is happening. And every day, every minute, the resources are being mined away. France is, getting them. They just want to make sure that their own is good. It's all about their own selfish interests. And like I said, none of these things would have been made possible without the support. Look at Alice Ndesiani. Let's just bring that in. It's not as if Alice Ndesiani is the only criminal that we have in Nigeria. Look at Alice Ndesiani and many of them. Alice Ndesiani stole so much as Minister of Petroleum, ran and escaped to the United Kingdom. Was he arrested? She wasn't arrested. When she realized that it could become tough, she decided to go to one of those Caribbean countries, paid them off, and they made her a life minister so she could have immunity. All of this coming from your resources. There is someone in the Niger Delta that has his or her life, destroyed. There are a lot of things happening in Nigeria. We have wicked people all over the country. And most of Africans will do just anything to go to those countries, go to the West where things work. Now, you should have asked yourself, why is it that religion, why is that everything has not made Africans do the right thing? It doesn't matter if it's Islam. That's to let you know that religion does not necessarily put you right. It doesn't put you right. It is you yourself that have to decide within yourself that you have to put things right. You have to. We are free moral agents. You have to decide within yourself that you want to put yourself right, that you want to do the right thing. Obviously, human beings, of course, at times we might not want to do the right thing. That's why we have the rule of law and enforcement agency. But in Africa, in Nigeria, enforcement agency, they are criminals, and the rule of law is so jaundiced, and everything is just so bad. So for those who are thinking that this is just going to go away like that, no, be ready for the influx of terrorists who are going to fill up Nigeria. They will be coming through the north. They will fill up your forests. They will circulate everywhere. They are angry. They are angry. They are going to take advantage of this. It's better that the president does the right thing. Do the right thing now before it's too late. What are your thoughts? Like and share. Subscribe to this channel. See you in the next update.